Hey, what's good, YouTube? Antayami here, back with another video. And in today's video, we got my 4.0, pretty much my final version of my White Forest Fiendsmith Azamina deck that we're gonna probably take to the YCS. Now, this deck, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of questions and a lot of flack for it. So just heads up, this deck is extremely different. I would say too different, but very different from my past builds. So without wasting any more of you guys' time, let's go ahead and hop into this deck profile and I'll explain as I go. Okay, start with the White Forest engine. With the White Forest engine, I'm still playing on 3 Azet. This card is absolutely insane. The only weakness is not having a spell and also Ash, but card's broken. Then next we got the Sylvies. Triple Sylvies are still very good, our best normal summon for the most part. Then we have one Arcia. Different list. I'm actually playing double Azet. I've been liking double Azet because sometimes you want to see this card. It's not good in every single hand, but it is some of the cards that you will like to see in your opening hand for like extending. So it's very good on that. And then it can also combo with like Valor and other things of that nature, but I do like it at 2. So yes, I'm not going to get into super details of why I mainly play 2. It's not because you can recycle it and whatever. But she's basically not my recycle target anymore. Sometimes she is in some combos, but there's another card in my deck that I use to shuffle back into the deck, which is really funny. So, here's another controversial card in my deck. You guys ready? Dunna, 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 dunna. She's back. A Stellar is back in the deck, and not for the reasons you think it is. So once we get to the extra deck, it's going to make a lot more sense why I play a Stellar. The reason why I'm playing her is because we're no longer playing Trozo. I don't think it's needed, and it is a little expensive if you were to like go into that line. It basically says if your opponent has 0 hand traps, then you can go into it safely, but going with Black Witch plus like Deception really early is extremely expensive. A lot of times you're spending like 2 hand traps to like go into a line that auto loses to like 1 hand trap, right? So the Exceller comes in is because I'm no longer playing 3 Black Witches. I'm playing 1 Black Witch, but she replaces one of my Black Witches because I don't want to open Black Witch. Black Witch is another card that's very expensive. It's very scary when that card gets Imperm or Valored. And if you don't have any more real pushes, because Azamina Azet doesn't work with Black Witch because she's a dark spellcaster. So she's basically, think about it as like another Black Witch, but she's not named Black Witch, if that makes sense. So if I normal summon her, she resolved, that's fantastic. But there's a combo where you actually search her and then you tribute her off of Deception and then you bring her back later. So she has like her, you know, her pop-ups here and there. She's not very necessary in the deck. Again, you don't need to play her, but I found out that you can play her in a lot of these lines, and it's just helpful to have another White Forest name, because the times where I'm struggling to win a lot of games going first is that you don't open White Forest. So there you go, 10 White Forest in the main. Going with the spells to the White Forest. This is not original. This is another Tails. I'm actually playing double Tails now. I think double Tails because we need to up the consistency of seeing White Forest cards. So this in conjunction with any of these cards is insane. So I bumped it to 2. I don't think 3 is correct because 3 may get a little cloggy. You might see this card way too much. You just want to see it enough, and it's like, again, searchable, so it's like I think 2 is fine. And then going into the Azamina package or Simple Spoils package, I played in 1 Black Witch, and here's another special card that you guys could probably see in the thumbnail, but it is Queen Azamina. Now, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of flack on why you're playing Queen Azamina all of a sudden. What's the point, right? So I'm using her more as like a utility card, and if you notice as we go through our profile, we're gonna see more cards cut out of my main deck. That makes this card so much better, and we added more cards to make this card extremely good. So basically we're using it as a Simple Spoils card. So as we can tell, we upped the number of Simple Spoils cards, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. So we're playing, of course, the triple Wanteds. We're playing double Simple Spoils of the White Forest. And then we're playing the one Debtors. Or sorry, not the one Debtors, the one Deception. And then the card that you really want to heart open now, because it is broken. It's not like a card that you don't want to see, which is Hollowed. Heart opening hollow plus one of the Simple Spoil cards is extremely crazy, because now you just have a layer of protection when you're doing your plays and stuff like that. So like the reason why, again, I want to play more Simple Spoils, because I want to resolve this by heart opening as much as possible. It's a one-off, so it doesn't really happen, but it's, again, very searchable, which are the like Deception and cards of that nature. So yeah, heart opening this is really, really good to play through a lot of your interruptions and stuff like that. And then the next card is Debtors. Now, Debtors is just basically Hollowed, but just named differently, right? I didn't want to play two Hollows because I felt like that just like didn't make any sense. And this is basically a quick play Hollowed that you can actually search on your turn and then set it. And then now you can go into your extra deck. And again, we'll talk about it once we get to the extra deck. You can use this card as an interruption, which is really fun as well. Also, it's very good into the Charmy cards, because now instead of going like, you know, go Black Witch, Deception, instead of going for that Hollow Azamina, giving your opponent a draw, you can actually set this card and then flip it on your opponent's turn, and you gave them 0 draws for your Charmies. So I feel like it has a lot of utility. Like, I feel like this deck is becoming more of a utility deck, and it has like a more of a free flow style to it, because you can search it, because this is a Simple Spoils card too. If you guys didn't know, it's treated as a Simple Spoils, which is why we play it, right? And also you can shuffle it back with Hollow Azamina, because it is an Azamina card. And also, she sees the Azamina card, she works really well with this by giving you life points in time and burning your opponent for time. Also, she works really good with Sylvia, this one, because her attack is 25. If she attacks directly, it's 5,000. So that's very valuable for pushing for game and stuff like that. So she has a lot of utility. I guess I'll show her off why she's very useful. Yes, she's a brick for the most part, but hey, sometimes you got to play bricks to have a higher ceiling. And I feel like it makes a lot of sense to play her, because you got so many ways to interact with her in a lot of your 2-card combos. So she has a lot of utility. She's a dark, she's a level 8. You can make a light and dark Chaos Angel. Yeah, I just feel like in this particular build, she's really, really, really good. Oh, let me talk about this card as well. The reason why I bumped this card to 2. We'll talk about that in a second. And why, like, even still with this card, it's very important. Because, like, say for example, and it comes up more than you think. So let's say you have Queen Azamina or something like that, right? You have Queen Azamina, you have Simple Spoils of the White Forest, and you have Sylvie. So you go normal summon Sylvie, and a lot of times people like to Imperm or Veiler Sylvie. So now you have a new line, and playing this like right here, you can actually chain this and take these two. And oh wait, one second. Just making sure I'm double checking and making sure it just says illusion monster. Yeah, so it says any illusion monster. So I just want to double check that, make sure they didn't say like dark or light illusion monster or something crazy, right? So yeah, so you'll go like normal summon this a Veiler, and then you can dodge Veiler by chaining this and then synchroning these two off, or sorry, not synchro, fusing that card off, and you can go into this or Omni Negate based off your hand. You still get the Sylvie search, which is really, really good. And then you get this coming back as a body to help you go into like Fiendsmith engine and just being a body, because this is basically just a monster version of a Simple Spoils card, where the Simple Spoils cards usually like reset themselves. This actually brings itself back as a body, and it's really good for a lot of grind games, honestly. It's really good. So yeah, it's just like, it's one of those cards where it's not bad to see, because you can also use the extending effect to like summon monsters. So like say, for example, you have this plus Sylvie plus like a normal summon, which is like the Fiendsmith engine. You can actually go like, I don't know, you can go normal summon this, and then you can actually go activate this to summon this, and you can actually basically summon both of your monsters in the same time. Or if you can normal summon this, search this, You have access to Lakuma as well. So it's a lot of cool different things. But what's really important about this is, especially with something like Debtors, if you even combo like this, I know it's like a 4-card combo, but like you can set it up with a lot of your searches and stuff. Where is my Debtors? Is it over here? It's in here. So even something like this, so like you can actually like chain this, and then you can chain Debtors to send this to the graveyard, because excuse me, because Debtors is a quick effect. So that's really, really cool. There's a lot of tricky ways to playing this engine now. And right now, I'm trying to keep my opponent on their toes. There's been a lot of White Forest profiles going around, and I'm trying to make mine the most diverse one that people like, oh, you imperm this. Now I'm trying to punish you for imperming the norm. So it's just out of the box, and I like the way it feels. It feels really, really, really good. So let me bring back my locker mode. So yeah, so Fiendsmith engine, we have double engraver, one Lacrima, one Lurie, double track. This is a track proxy. I have 2 proxies in my deck right now because I don't have a second track, but I will be getting that before the YCS. But yeah, the reason why we run 2 engravers is that if we do open engraver, we go through the full 1-card engraver line. You want to use Lurie effect to dump the second engraver. Pretty much the only reason why you play 2. And the reason why we're playing 2 tracks, because it helps you play through draws. So again, instead of playing like 3-1, I like the 2-2 because you can open like engraver plus track and still have both cards live. Excuse me. So I just like the math on it. I think it's really, really good, and it's been working phenomenally. I've been liking it a lot, so that's kind of the reason for that. And then non-engine, it's the same, pretty much the same thing. We're playing 12 non-engine. We're playing the 4 best non-engine in the deck right now. I guess arguably, if you want to put in more cards, you could put in the Charmies, but I like this the way it is. And then, of course, games 2 or going second, you're going to side into more hand traps. So you're going to have either 18 or 21 hand traps going second, which is really, really good. So that is for the main deck. Again, it's coming out at clean 40. You know how we get around here. We're going to stick it around 40. So let's go ahead and start with the links. So, of course, we played Requiem. We played the 1 sequence, the 1 SP Little Knight. All right, I'm going to be real with you guys. I am a cross sheet lover now. I didn't think I was going to love cross sheet so much, but cross sheet comes up in a lot of different like crazy extending scenarios. So first time testing it in my version 4 deck, and I honestly can't take it out. It's actually really freaking crazy, especially with all the simple spoils and the extra ways to get the fusion cards. It's really insane, especially in this deck in particular. 1 Moon. Now, this is the contradict. I don't know which one I'm going to use. I've been using Agmande, and I haven't really tested this card in this version. But the fact that you're playing Cross Sheep, there is a pretty much 1-card, what's her face? 1-card Sylvie can get into it. Which your inboard is going to be Desiree, a Boa, and an Omni Negate. So, like, making this and that 1-card combo seems more worth it than just having just a Desiree inboard line. So I'm heavily considering playing her, but it's either or right now. And I feel like they have really big different roles. Like, you will never see this card going second, but you can see this card going second a lot. So I'm very mixed on which one I want to use. Currently right now he's in my list, but I can see arguments playing her because she is so solid for going first. So I'm gonna have to heavily think about that, but right now it is the Agmande. Of course, for the synchros, literally the same cards, literally the same 4. No need to talk about that. And then, of course, the fusions. I play souls. I know a lot of people have been cutting the souls out of the deck. In this version, because I did cut this for a bit, and I brought it back because I'm playing more of the fusion package. So this, you go through all 3 of these cards really fast. So having a third name is just really good. And this card is just good. Even going first, like if you get Nib or Bestial, you can clear their Nib or Bestial with this card. And it's just better than going into this sometimes. So it's really strong. It's really good. I do like this card a lot. And now since you're playing 2 of the Sinful Spoils cards, the white fours of the Sinful Spoils, this card comes up a lot more. So it's really, really good. And also debtors, because you can actually set debtors, and you can make this card a lot easier now because you don't need a fiend to make it. You can just make it and then send a card as another interruption. So yeah, I can't cut this card now because I'm playing too many fusion cards. And then you play the one Chimera and the one Desiree. That's what it is. And I mean, the side deck is pretty much the same as has it always been. I feel like I go back and forth on the going first cards for the most part, but I'm playing one Call by the Grey, one Triple Tactics Talents, and one Thrust. I like Thrust right now instead of Double Talents because it's more versatile. If you open both, you can use both. And Bestials are going to be everywhere because I've been getting Bestial left and right. Thrust becomes better with that. You can also like get Mo Charmy. You can Thrust set like certain spells, certain traps, and go off to the races. So yeah, I like the diversity because I feel like all 3 of these cards kind of do similar things. When you get hit with hand traps, these cards become better. So yeah, just kind of diversifying that. And then of course the rest of the side deck looks very standard again. Triple Lancia, triple Ferraros, triple Berulia, and then again Proxy. And again, I'm gonna pick up the Meowis in the at the YCS or whatever. But yeah, these are gonna be the 3 Meowis, and these hand traps are just insane because you typically end up drawing like 1 of the 9, and depending on the matchup, like you don't always sign in like all 9 of these. It just depends on the matchup. But just seeing 2 of these cards in your hand going second just feels so good. And I always feel like I always win whenever I open 2 of the Charmy cards. It's just what it is. Like the fact that they're not once per turn is broken. I would not be playing 9 of these cards if they were not like once per turn. Like I don't know why they are not once per turn, but hey, whatever, right? All right, guys, so that's going to be it for my deck profile. Again, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer this. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of like questions on this video. So all right, see you guys in the next one. Peace.